I work in TV and do concept art for games and books, mostly sci-fi and fantasy. So thankfully, I get to continue to inject my love for the paranormal through art. My story is about something that seemingly is affecting more and more people: sleep paralysis. Whether this is a culmination of our stressful modern-day lives, our bad sleeping habits, our poor diets, I'm sure they all contribute in some way to this condition. Long story short, our brain makes chemicals to keep our body immobile while we sleep, so we don't get up, have any boxing matches with our coat racks in real life. Sleep paralysis, as science will say, is when your brain wakes up but your body doesn't. Oh man, do I know that. I usually get out of it bi-monthly. Sometimes more if it's been particularly stressful. I try not to drink a lot of coffee or eat a lot of spicy food before bed. Ever have jalapenos before bed? You will have some bizarre-ass dreams. For me, the symptoms are sometimes a sensation of drowning, as if you went back to bed, you would stop breathing. You attempt to rock your body into a wake state, but it usually doesn't happen. Sometimes I can murmur, but I'm a giant virgin and never sleep with anyone who wakes up anyways. Oh, come on, Tyler. They are mostly uncomfortable lucid dreams and leave you panicked and afraid to go to bed. But the worst symptom is when you hallucinate. I can't say I've had concrete paranormal happenings to me all my life. Everyone's heard bumps in the night or has seen something out of the corner of their eye. But during the fall of 2007, I had a string of episodes that left me seeking help. I started with a few normal instances in my bed in my apartment in the city. I lived with one roommate, a best friend from college. I'd wake up on my side or back and would stare up into a dark ceiling, feeling suffocated from my blanket and surroundings. I'd Uma Thurman, wiggle your big toe, myself back into the waking and have spotty sleep for the rest of the night. I like that term. He Uma Thurman himself.
Ooh.
It was not normal for me to have more than one episode a week, but about 2 weeks went by with 4 episodes, and they became longer each time. I felt as if the black spot on my ceiling was coalescing. I could also feel an intense presence on the other side of my bedroom door. I don't have another way to describe it, as if something was waiting for me to get to sleep to come in. Again, I understand these are horror tropes. I've seen my share of movies, and I'm sure they influence my nightmares. It sometimes felt as if I was experiencing deja vu, and I knew what would come next. My worst fears manifesting. I've had bad episodes before where I could swear I've seen my door open or felt a negative entity in the room with me, near my bedside or somewhere next to me. But this last one took the proverbial cake. Last night, I woke in the same manner I had before, but to my mom calling me. I was on my side facing the door and couldn't move. I tried murmuring back to answer her, but I couldn't form the words. As I tried to rock myself back and forth, my door opened. A black form, which I thought was my mom, glided in, still calling to me. I was comforted for a small moment. She was going to wake me up. This is all a bad dream and she'll help me. I tried mouthing out to help her again, but instead of a response, I just heard this form breathing heavily. It got right to the foot of my bed, and that's when I realized it wasn't my mom. I leaned in and got into bed with it. It leaned in and got into bed with me and lay prone next to me. Its face got right alongside mine, and I could feel it breathe on me. I screamed inside my mind, and I felt as if my consciousness blacked out. When I woke up for real, I was completely shook. I remember every detail. The entity cajoling me by pretending to be my mother, the hot breath on my face. Bad dream or not, I did not want to sleep in my apartment after that incident. It was getting worse and worse every time, and I didn't want to see what the next threshold would have in store for me. I told a friend of mine, who I believe is clairvoyant. I told my roommate. I went to go stay at my mom's for the weekend. My clairvoyant friend offered to come by and just sort of spiritually sniff out the place, but couldn't do so for another week. That was too long, but she said perhaps burning some sage would help in the meantime. I never believed in crystals or herbs or suppositories or any of that freaky-deaky New Age stuff, but my roommate, who happens to be like a pretend pagan for fun, did have access to sage and some other crap that she let burn around the apartment, and holy shit, did it work. I was still nervous about my room and sleeping in it, but I literally did not have the slightest of an incident following the sage burning. I can't say some giant negative energy was lifted off my room and I could masturbate under the covers again without fear of it taking my seeds, but the way the episodes suddenly ceased after a string of them was testament enough for me. I've had sleep paralysis since, It has not been as intense as it was during that month in 2017, and I have not seen any forms of black shapes. Knock on wood. I can't say what triggers them, but I will say overall eating right and exercising and just generally taking care of yourself seems to help. I try to do bedtime activities like reading or coloring, anything without electronics to help me relax my mind and stay asleep. I know there isn't much to cover beyond what the Unbelievable podcast did years ago, but if you ever do an episode on the topic, I'll be willing to share my 2 cents on the show. I'd also recommend a documentary called The Nightmare by Rodney Archer that explores the topic in some more extreme cases than mine. I think it's still on either Netflix or Hulu. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all get good sleep tonight. And remember not to eat Mexican food before bed like I seem to always do. You know, jalapenos give you weird fucking dreams. Wow. Thank you very much, Tyler. That was a very, very kind of spooky story, just like I asked for.
Oh my gosh. I have so much to say about this. Yes, spicy nightmares are a thing. Don't eat spicy food before you go to sleep. It's not good. You're going to have spicy nightmares. But the whole thing about sleep paralysis, yes, it has obviously a scientific reason, how it happens. I just have a hard time with the mutual exclusivity of how it's only scientific and that there can't be anything supernatural about it. I think that there are some things that either take advantage of it or can even trigger it. Me personally, sleep deprivation does it for me. If I go a day, if I pull an all-nighter, go 24 hours without sleeping, it's almost guaranteed that I'll have sleep paralysis the next night. And I've had it so often that I can ride through it. Okay, I know this song and dance. Let's get this over with. But there have been episodes that were just markedly different, worse. And what he was saying resonated with me. I related really, really hard with it. Similar thing happened. I'm not going to get into too many details, make it a whole story, but I think that he was correct in going to his mom's for the weekend because luckily for me, I had a weekend trip in the midst of my week-long thing like that too. And I was afraid coming back, I hope that it's not still going to be there. Because when I left for the weekend, I slept fine, the place that I was at. And I was worried coming back that it would happen again, but it didn't. I have a lot more to say about this stuff for real, but thank you so much for that story. I definitely know exactly what you're talking about, and I hope we do focus on this topic specifically in the future.
Yeah, it's the worst. I've gotten in high school, and I had
I just had it this weekend.
I had it in high school. It would happen. It hadn't happened in years, and it was weird. It was 2 days after we got back from that Mothman festival a couple years ago. I got it one day, and it was
wow.
2 days after I had met that weird guy on the plane. Weird story, weird time, and and send me some more of these stories, and that's the Unbelievers mailbag.
The Unbelievers mailbag.
Hey man, check your mailbox.
Hey, you got some new mail over here.
Sup, bitches? It's mail time. Woo! Woo! Woo!
And now it's time for an SOS segment. Poll results. This week's poll: does psychic Sylvia Browne belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? And the choices were yes, no, and other. But for this one, we also put this poll out on Twitter, since this is a little more important poll when we're gauging whether we're putting someone in the SOS Hall of Fame.
It's a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
It is, and we don't really feel we have the full authority to do it on our own, so we like to get a little backup. So I'll ask you guys first, just coming from the Twitter vote, what do you think, Rob? What do you think the Unbelievers said, yes or no?
I'm thinking they said yes. She deserves it, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows it.
Okay, what about you, Drea?
Yeah, I don't know how many people we have on Twitter, but I would hope that everybody said yes.
Well, with 25 votes and 88% of the vote, yes, Sylvia Browne belongs in the SOS Hall of Fame from Twitter. But from the regular website, from our poll, does psychic Sylvia Browne belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? What do you think the Unbelievers said, yes or no or other?
No. I mean, just kidding, yes. Come on, you guys, you better have said yes.
All right. Well, you are correct with 18.52% of the vote, which is a lot because there are 77% of them are others tonight. Yes, Sylvia Browne belongs in the SOS Hall of Fame, but of course there are others. Okay, does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yep, she was full of beans. Signed, Little Baby Bigfoot.
Yeah, but my mother thought I was full of beans, so...
Thank you.
She was looking at a little baby Bigfoot.
All right, let's count that as a yes. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yes, and put a little flaming bag of shit on Montel's doorstep for putting her on national TV. Ooh, good one.
Ooh, good idea.
No sign off.
Yeah, fuck you, Montel.
But if you're in Montel's neighborhood, go do that. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? A sort of black guy with dreads threw me in all this water and I can't get out. Send help. Signed Spermy Paracox. Thank you, Spermy. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Dang old B-word, man. Look good talking about Hall of Boom. Signed, of course, Jeffrey Boomhauer III. Thank you, Boomhauer.
Love him.
Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? No, she belongs in the Super Sack of Shit Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Because we all know radiation settles in the anus. Signed, Alien Nunchaka.
I like that.
We know that radioactivity settles in the anus.
We sure do. I'll count that as a yes. All right. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I can't tell. She must be in water. Signed, Casey Sr. I love all these in water references. Y'all are all... There's no lead tonight, but you're in it. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Sylvia Brown shot Selena. Signed, Ryan. Signed, Ryan Gosling. Okay.
Allegations.
Thank you, Ryan Gosling. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I feel like death has exonerated her from the SOS Hall of Fame, but I'm probably full of beans. Signed, Unbeliever Mondo.
Yeah, but my mother thought I was full of beans, so...
Yeah, right. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Sylvia should be the Lord Prez of the SOS Hall of Fame. Hated seeing her books when I worked in a bookstore. Queen of pure crap. Signed, Blue Box UFO. Thank you, Blue Box UFO. I'll put that as a yes. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yes, and I hope she's in water. Signed, Kate Mill. Everyone wants her in water. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yes, she's really good at it. Signed, Kooks.
I'm really good at it.
Thank you, Kooks. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? This bitch is the queen of the SOS Hall of Fame. Signed, Harley Warren. Yes.
I'm loving it.
Can you all scream like a witch?
Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Certainly. Though she's probably already in the SOS Hell of Flame. Ha! Signed, Molten Sushi. Very good. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yes, yeah. She might be psychic, but her confidence is reckless. She just wants you to pick up your brain and read her books. Signed, Yala Sasquatch. Nice, Phil Schneider.
Pick up your brain and read a book.
Thank you, Yala Sasquatch.
You know, a dirty gray turned into yellow.
Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? She would have made it to 88, but too much radioactivity settled in her anus. Signed,
we know that radioactivity settles in the anus.
Yes. Signed, Jonathan. Signed, DeJonathan.
Oh, nice. I get the name.
Jonathan. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Yeah. About that bitch? Signed the Machinist.
Yeah, about that hole.
Thank you, Machinist. Does Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? I can't think of anything funny this week, so I'm gonna just say yeah, probably. Signed, Unbeliever Fox. I'll put that as another one there. Does psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Does the Sasquatch shit in the woods? She does. Signed, Brendan. We got something in the woods. What do we got?
That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right?
I bet she would love that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Clint. Does Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Nah, it's just Harvey Fierstein doing performance art. Signed, Stale Reference Man. Oh, our new favorite character, Stale Reference Man. There's no, but you got it. Harvey Fierstein. This is my friend Jab. Okay. Does Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame? Motherfucker needs to die. Oh, wait. She already... Stop. Motherfucker needs to die. Oh, wait. She dead already. Bye, bitch. Signed, Unbeliever Carol.
Ooh, Carol.
There you go,
Thank
Carol.
you, Carol. Carol, you're in the lead. The psychic Sylvia Brown belong in the SOS Hall of Fame. And finally, we have boobs.